Hi everyone, welcome to the big lady of the small house. I'm quite late in repotting hippeastrums that were on outside during all summer, but today is the last warm day when I can work outside in the garden. So today I decided to repot Quito hippeastrum baby bulbs. They are about 3 years old and they've been staying in these 5-liter pots for almost the whole 3 years. So for this year, for this winter, next year, I decided to have the big container, something like 65 liters, and I have 6 bulbs, which will be plenty of them for to grow those 65 liters. So I'll see either 65 or 35. I'll have to decide yet. But so far what I have to do is remove these bulbs and clean up. I already have 3 here. They are soaked in the roots are soaked. Roots and the base are soaked in acaricide solution because we have the mite problem in the garden. Wherever you put the plant outside, it will be affected by all sorts of mites, the spider mites, root mites, bulb mites, you name it. Everything is there. So first the treatment for about an hour. I'm using the Miralda acaricide, which is fenperoximate, 5 grams per liter. And it's really funny because I was cleaning up the bulbs as I found this one. It's kind of the bulb going back to its natural state. So we've got 1 base, 2, 3 and 4, and I will plant it like this in a separate pot and see how many bulbs I can get from this one. So that's another experiment. I'll make a video about it and we'll see. But so far what I have to do is to remove the bulb, clean it up, inspect the roots. Not all of them are in good condition, not all of them are not in bad conditions. I have one bulb that had its basal plate eaten completely by the root mites, so it goes to trash. So I got one baby that died due to mites, and it's got four leaves, and hopefully next spring, if not the year after, these bulbs will bloom, because I have neglected them, honestly. They were just sitting in the coldest corner of the greenhouse. Then they were wintering in the house under the stairs with the cold conditions. So I'm doing lots of experiments. So whatever I advise you to do, make sure that all the advices that I'm giving you are tested. So I'm telling you, the myth about cold Dalmatian is a myth, because these bulbs were obviously in a cold Dalmatian and they never bloomed and poorly growing. Thought the ones that have been in the greenhouse, heated, warm and lots of sun and watering and fertilizing in whatever it needed, they have bloomed already next year, and that was the seedling. It took them 3 years. These are the vegetative bulbs. They haven't bloomed. I used it as an experiment, so they haven't bloomed. The mother plant is blooming, but these ones are not. So definitely Dalmatian is not something that your hippeastrums would love to have. So I guess this part is okay. Now I have to remove the dry scales, because I want to apply acaricide directly on the bulbs. when I will soak the roots and basil plate. Never soak the bulb itself. Maximum can submerge it till about this level. The rest I just use the damp cloth that has been the acaricide was applied. Just swipe it, clean it with the damp cloth, clean the leaves. I've showed it so many times already. So if you were watching my previous videos, you know what to do. And I would guess I have to remove. I would love to remove this fresh scale. So it's already dying, fading away. So it's easier to remove all this garbage. Plus, there might be some mites under the scale. They usually stay on the first couple of scales. They're going from up or from the neck down. And here we go. That's one bulb. I'll stick it into the container Quito. The mixture of coal and pumice stone tells me that this plant was repotted 3 years ago. That's when I was mixing these types of drainage. And it turns out that the hippeastrums like the coal itself as a drainage. That's the best stuff for them. First of all, it's warm, even if it's cold. It's wet and it's cold outside. It's still much warmer than a pumice stone. Just because it's organic matter and it's being wet, it starts to decompose slowly and it's heating up slightly. So it's much better for the roots. Plus composting, they are providing nutrients. So hippeastrums love it. And these are the roots that have died in spring from the last year. And again, I prefer to cut one outer scale and remove the old ones with it together. And I've got one more pot. Okay, 2 and 3. You can see some flowers were growing here as well. Since this bulb was outside, not under the shed, it was absolutely open to rain. It's dry outer scales coming off easily, just like in hammam. When you go to Turkish baths and they scrub you with a cloth, this is what happens here. So the scale has been peeled off easily. And I remove all the damaged roots. I might try to scrub some of the roots here just to see if this white tissue doesn't go inside. No, it's clean. No, it's bad. It's fine. So these bulbs, that's the mess that I have from repotting. So I've got 6 healthy bulbs going. I will clean it up later. I will clean the leaves with the cotton disc, the one you can use you use for removing makeup. Just apply some acaricide and wrap up and swipe up the bulbs all the way up and clean up the leaves. Just fold the disc and just put the leaf inside and just pull it through. It will clean up and apply the thin layer of acaricide so the leaves will be protected, and the bulbs will dry up for about for overnight because it's getting cold already, and after 1 hour in the solution and cleaning up the leaves, they will stay indoor for overnight, and I'll apply the fungicide. That's the red stuff everybody's asking, which is Syngenta Maxim, and this is good for treating all this bacteria and the fungal diseases. And tomorrow, once the Maxim dries out, I will plant them in a big container. I will see which one I will use. So the bulbs have been treated. I've got 6 bulbs, nice and healthy ones. I've got 3 big ones, 3 small ones. I've already planted 3, 2 big and 1 small. The pot here is about 35 liters, and I've already added Osmocote since the bulbs will be here the whole winter, and it's heater just right behind me, and will be plenty of light, so the bulbs won't go to dormation. They can grow. So what I've done, I've planted the biggest one in the middle because it will grow the biggest roots in the whole patch. Another big one was planted here, so I will plant the next big one will be planted here. The roots have been dried off a bit because it took me a couple of days to dry the bulbs completely from the chemical treatment. Another one will go over here. So the roots have dried off, but it will take them a couple of days to start growing once they feel the wet soil. And the third one goes in here. So hopefully this spring I'll see bloom from this bulb, maybe from these 2, but this one definitely should bloom, and we'll see what will grow the next season. And hopefully next season I'll have the nice pot of blooming Quito hippeastrums. Thanks for watching. Bye.